Always great to be at CPAC. I have to tell you, I was taken aback by the controversy. I know that the libs believe that because 5 seconds ago they said that marriage is no longer what it always has been everywhere in the world. I know that they really believe that they did something, but still, I don't know. To me, that didn't seem like the craziest, most outrageous part of my speech. In my speech at CPAC, I said that historically speaking, we're not a nation of immigrants. I said that historically speaking, the notion that diversity is our strength is rather novel and silly and ridiculous. I don't know. There were a few lines in there that I felt, okay, the libs are really going to push back on this. But no, these guys, the only thing they cared about is I said that the view that Christians and Muslims and conservative Jews and pagans from antiquity through the present, and pretty much that everybody has ever held about marriage continues to be true. And it isn't different now just because some robed lawyers on the Supreme Court said so a few years ago. I am surprised that articulating the view of marriage that was held by virtually every single current prominent Democrat politician until at the earliest 2012, 2011, 2012, maybe, and then as late as 2015, that I hold that view. And then the libs say they're trying to take us back to the 1950s. I don't know. On this question, I'm trying to take you back to 2014. I'm trying to take you back to Joe Biden's view, the current president's view, not that long ago. But they really came after me. The Biden campaign, Governor Patrick Bateman over there in California, Newsom came after me personally and tweeted out the speech. Really, really silly stuff. Now, I had to fly in and fly out, and which is fine. I'm glad to be back in the studio today. There is, however, one great regret that I have, and that is I was scheduled to meet the leader of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, possibly one of my favorite world leaders today. This is the man who took El Salvador from being the most dangerous nation in the world to being the safest nation in the Western Hemisphere. Really strong conservative leader. He gave an amazing speech giving thanks to God after his recent election. This guy, I don't know, within 20 or 30 minutes of being scheduled to get to shake this guy's hand and have a few words and just say, "You are the man, Mr. Bukele." But my flight was my flight. It was the last one out of D.C. to get back to Nashville. And we're talking about matters of the heart now. Never doubt that I love you all, that I would give up on shaking the hand of this great world leader just to be back in the studio for all of you this morning. I hope, though, that I have the opportunity to meet Mr. Bukele at some point in the future, either when he's in the States or if I don't know, if I go on a vacation to El Salvador or something like that, because this guy brought the house down. I say this with no false modesty and true humility. There was some buzz around my speech because it got so much play last year. By far, there's not even close. The most anticipated, most exciting speaker at CPAC yesterday was the leader of El Salvador. Everyone, myself included, I got to see a little bit of the speech before I had to head out. The guy was electric. He was totally on fire. Here's what he had to say.
They say globalism comes to die at CPAC. I'm here to tell you that in El Salvador, it's already dead. But if you want globalism to die here too, you must be willing to unapologetically fight against everything and everyone that stands for it. These dark forces are already taking over your country. You may not see it yet, but it's already happening. You don't see it as clearly because people are designed to see linear changes, not exponential ones. We don't always recognize how fast a problem can multiply and spiral out of control. The problem is much like the metaphor of the boiling frog. Once the water boils, it's already too late. People fail to see these things. It's our nature. Just like the frog, people become complacent, and they don't realize how bad things are getting until it's too late.
This is a great insight. Now, if you want to hear more great insights like this, and then some insights on those insights, you got to subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. Smash that bell right now. Subscribe, ring it, click it, ding it, whatever you got to do. Make sure that you subscribe. Thank you very much. Nayib Bukele not only says, look at what we've done in El Salvador, his whole speech was really terrific. He not only gives a warning to the United States, but he has this key insight. He says, people are designed to see things in a linear way. We just expect that the way things are is the way things are always going to be. We're not designed to see exponential changes. He said, what you don't understand is the dark forces at work in the world, they're here. They're already working on your country and you're not seeing it. So by the time you catch it, it's going to be a little bit too late. Think about the 2020 election. A lot of Americans realized that the election had been rigged only on election night, when we had to wait for all these mail-in ballots to come in, or when we had to wait for all these different kinds of strange poll watching shenanigans and the long voter counts because of different provisional kinds of voting. Well, that was all in place 12 to 18 months prior. Mark Zuckerberg, to use just one example, was donating a lot of money to left-wing organizations explicitly and directly to deny Trump the presidency. Those left-wing organizations were going in, they were setting up drop boxes for ballots that were far away from the county clerks. They were going in, there were ballot harvesting organizations that were going out to the areas where conservatives weren't going to go, and they were collecting those ballots, and they were doing all of this for months and months and months. Conservatives, some knew and were warning about it, but most people just said, oh, no big deal, whatever. We'll see. I think Trump will win the election. Biden's a terrible candidate. He's getting 3 people to show up to his rallies. Trump, he's had some missteps, and some people don't like his tweets, but he's been a good president. We got peace. We got a good economy. We're in the midst of this pandemic. I guess we didn't see that one coming, but I don't know, how bad could it really be? And then fast forward to the election, you say, oh, okay, well, they changed the voting rules in all the places that counted, in some cases unconstitutionally, and they dragged this thing out, the counting out, for a week or more. And then what do you know, in the middle of the night, they stopped the counting, and when we wake up in the morning, Joe Biden's leading all of a sudden, even though Trump had been leading the whole time. And you think, darn, maybe we should have ballot harvested. Oh, darn, maybe we should have fought some of these ballot drop boxes. Oh, darn, maybe we should have fought the widespread mail-ins that were illegal and unconstitutional in some cases. It was too late. You just don't think that way in America, that a major political party is going to rig the election in a way that we've never seen before in the country. That's what Bukele is talking about, and it goes way beyond just the Democrats. You think about who really rules the country now. Where are most laws made? Most laws are not made in Congress, certainly. Most laws are made in the administrative agencies, at the federal level, certainly, and at the state level. And a lot of us just aren't aware of that. A lot of us just, I don't know, we think that our government works like a bill up on Capitol Hill, but it doesn't. It doesn't work anything like that at all. Bukele is saying you got to watch out for that. And there's a glimmer of hope here. It's not just, oh, the dark, evil libs are out there lurking in the shadows, and we got to. I actually think the glimmer of hope is, yeah. And then I cooked them. They were trying to cook us in El Salvador, and then I cooked them. Because you know what I did? I got elected, and I just rounded up all the criminals who were worshiping Satan and sacrificing people and committing the worst crimes you can possibly imagine. And then I humiliated them on a national level. And then you're going to be shocked what happened. I arrested the criminals and crime dropped. What I also love about the Bukele example is he shows you this isn't that complicated. These problems are difficult. They can be hard to achieve because of political conflict. But the principles at play here are not that complicated. Bukele gets elected. He says, okay, I want crime to go down. I'll probably arrest the criminals. Simple as. This is what Ronald Reagan said in his most famous speech of his early career, A Time for Choosing. He said, well, the liberals accuse us of offering simple answers to complex problems. Well, maybe the answers are simple. Not easy, but simple. They are simple. And then you have to have the courage to actually do it. You have to have the courage, like Bukele, to stare some face-tattooed demon in the face who's like actually worshiping Satan and who's committing murder and rape and just the worst crimes imaginable. You got to look that guy in the face. Then you got to arrest him. Then you got to arrest everyone he knows. Then you got to make videos humiliating him and blast that out to the whole world. And then guess what? You fix your problem. You fix your problem. If only we could recognize simple answers and then have courage to implement answers. Obviously, America's a little different from El Salvador, but we do the American version of it. Not such a bad idea. Man, what a great clip that was. Now, hold up. Wait. You got to ring that bell and subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time.